To compete in big-time college athletics, you have to have first-class facilities. The 88,000 square foot Len Casanova Center moves Oregon right to the top of the list.
It moves us from the very poorest facilities in the league to among the very best. All you had to do is go in some of the coaches' offices and see them sharing desks rather than an office, and to see our football staff, 4 coaches to a room, and understand that they weren't able to work efficiently, that we needed more space, and that we needed something that was going to work well for the whole department. We were spread across the campus in 4 different buildings, and it was just something that was forced on us simply by necessity.
The building works so well because the people who use it helped with the design. The weight room is 3 times the size of the old one. That means a safer, more efficient workout.
I can remember bringing recruits in to the old weight room and having them kind of laugh or giggle because it was so much smaller and you know, not as good as the weight room they had at their high school. We got a lot of good work done in the old weight room, and so if we can keep that same work ethic and that same drive and fire, but in a better facility, we can only get better.
Bigger treatment center has allowed them to add new equipment and join the computer age. They've also added a workout pool that allows athletes to rehab injuries and get back to action quicker.
It's very important to get treatments on the athletes as soon as possible and get the up-to-date type of treatments that are being used throughout the country on athletic type injuries. And with the new type of equipment that we have, we're pretty much doing that right now.
And the equipment room used to be in an old, wet, dark maintenance room under Autzen Stadium. Now they're right next to the locker room.
The real reaction comes from the ex-players that had to put up with what we had before and come in and start crying in their soup a little bit, I guess.
The center also has a theater-style film room, a dining hall, a wrestling room, and the Hall of Champions. The Cas Center is part of the Autzen Stadium renovation project. Total price tag close to $19 million. $12 million came from the sale of bonds, another $7 million from cash and gifts in kind. Byrne says that other officials from around the Pac-10 are impressed by what the Ducks have done.
They know the financial situation we have here at Oregon, and they know that basically while they get it done on a shoestring, we get it done on a piece of dental floss. So it's tough here. And to see what our donors have come up with, to see the way they've rallied around our program is really impressive.
The hope is that the center will also impress recruits. So far, that seems to be working.
Certainly the players that have been to games this year, and we haven't played that well, but I think they see the positive things that are happening in the program, and with 2 bowl games in a row and then an off season this year, I think there's no question where this program is headed.
We had one youngster who was here this summer with his parents, and he came in and they were looking it over, and we weren't quite finished with the building yet. And we asked where else he was visiting. He said, well, I'm visiting the top programs in the Pac-10. I'm visiting Washington, USC, and Oregon. That's a nice place to be.
All right, Walt, thank you very much. And now we're with the hardest working man in college athletics. He's on tape. He just did a radio interview. Now we got him on TV. Bill, I know this is a very important week for college athletics in the state of Oregon. A very important decision coming up by the State Board of Higher Ed.
It's really a decision as to whether or not we're going to continue to have Olympic sports in the state of Oregon. Unfortunately, there's a misconception out there that the money that would come from the State Board of Higher Education would be going to fund our football and basketball teams, and that's just absolutely not true. What we're talking about is funding opportunities for women, offering opportunities in gymnastics and wrestling and swimming at Oregon State to keep our track and field program alive at the University of Oregon. It's something that we absolutely have to have. In 1979, when the state of Oregon decided not to fund opportunities for women, the fallback position was to cut some men's sports and to put all the burden on football and men's basketball. It's the point where we can no longer do that. So we finally got to find a way to offer opportunities for those young people, or else their opportunities are going to go away, and we can't afford that in Oregon.
Yeah, it's too bad. You see the great job they do down here at ASU. It's tough to compete against this, but the football team is doing it, and they do it in the other sports as well.
They really are. Well, I'm thrilled with what our football team is doing out here tonight. It's nice to see us get in the end zone.
Yeah, sure it is. Not once, but twice as well. Well, Bill, thank you very much, and good luck this week.
Appreciate it.
We'll be back with more.